Welcome to BookSum, where we dive into the world of best-selling books and bring you the most valuable insights. Whether you're on the go at the gym or winding down after a long day, we're here to deliver the wisdom of great books, one episode at a time. So sit back, relax, and let's explore today's book together. Imagine a world where tiny, seemingly insignificant habits accumulate over time, leading to extraordinary results. This is the world James Clear invites us to explore in Atomic Habits. His journey begins with a personal story of recovery, resilience, and the discovery of the immense power hidden in small, incremental changes. Clear's life took a dramatic turn when a severe injury left him struggling to regain control of his life. It was in the painstakingly slow process of recovery that he discovered the transformative power of tiny habits, small actions that, when repeated consistently, lead to remarkable transformations, whether it's building positive habits or breaking destructive ones. Clear argues that the secret lies not in making radical changes, but in mastering the art of small, atomic habits that can inspire and motivate you to make significant changes in your life. The book explores the science behind habit formation, drawing on psychology, neuroscience, and biology to explain why habits exist and how they function. Clear introduces the idea that habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. Just as money multiplies through compound interest, the effects of your habits multiply as you repeat them. In the chapters that follow, you'll learn how to design habits that work for you rather than against you. You'll uncover strategies to make habits stick, understand the influence of your environment, and discover the importance of identity in shaping who you are through what you repeatedly do. Clear's practical advice, grounded in scientific research, is aimed at helping you achieve lasting change in every area of your life. As we move into the first chapter, The Surprising Power of Atomic Habits, get ready to delve deeper into the fundamental principles that make these tiny changes so powerful. You'll see how the aggregation of marginal gains can lead to substantial improvements, and how small habits can lead to life-altering transformations. So let's begin our journey into the world of atomic habits, where small actions lead to significant changes and where you have the power to reshape your destiny, one tiny habit at a time. Chapter 1. The Surprising Power of Atomic Habits. James Clear begins with a compelling idea. Habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. Just as financial investments grow over time through compound interest, small, consistent actions, like a 1% improvement each day, accumulate into significant transformations over time. This means that the effects of your habits multiply as you repeat them, leading to substantial improvements in your life. These tiny actions, which may seem inconsequential on their own, are the building blocks of lasting success. Clear uses the analogy of atoms as the fundamental units of matter to illustrate that these atomic habits are the foundation of a successful life. Clear emphasizes that while goals are important for setting a direction, real progress comes from focusing on systems, the daily processes and habits that lead to those goals. Systems are the routines and practices that keep you moving forward consistently. For example, if your goal is to get fit, your system might include daily exercise, a balanced diet, and adequate sleep. By honing in on these systems rather than obsessing over the end goal, you naturally make progress, and over time, these small gains compound into significant results. In other words, it's not just about setting a goal to get fit, but about establishing a system of healthy habits that will lead you to that goal. Conclusion. The key takeaway is that small, consistent habits lead to significant changes over time. Focus on building and improving systems rather than fixating on goals, as this approach naturally leads to better outcomes. Action items. Identify one habit you can improve by 1% daily. Reflect on a goal you have and design a system to achieve it. Keep in mind that progress often happens beneath the surface, even if it's not immediately visible. Chapter 2. How your habits shape your identity. Habits are deeply intertwined with your identity. Instead of merely asking, "What do I want to achieve?" Clear suggests asking, "Who do I want to become?" This shift in perspective is crucial because your habits are not just actions. They are a reflection of your identity. Habits that align with your identity are more sustainable and become part of who you are, empowering you to take control of your habits and shape your identity. For example, if you identify as a healthy person, you're more likely to maintain habits that reflect that identity, such as regular exercise and healthy eating. Clear explains that identity-based habits are powerful because they shift the focus from what you do to who you are. When you see yourself as a reader, reading becomes a natural part of your routine, not just an activity you try to fit into your day. This identity-driven approach makes habits more resilient and easier to maintain over the long term. In other words, if you want to become a reader, you need to start by identifying as one and then aligning your habits with that identity. This might mean setting aside time each day to read, always having a book with you, and seeking out opportunities to discuss what you're reading with others. Conclusion: transforming habits begins with reshaping your identity. Focus on becoming the person you want to be, and the habits that align with that identity will naturally follow. Action items: define the identity you desire, who you want to become. Start with small wins that align with this identity, reinforcing it daily. These small wins will encourage you and give you a sense of progress, fostering an optimistic outlook on your habit formation journey. Challenge any limiting beliefs that hold you back by taking small positive actions that reflect your new identity. Chapter 3. How to build better habits in 4 simple steps. Clear outlines a straightforward framework for building and maintaining habits based on 4 essential steps: cue, craving, response, and reward. Each habit follows this loop, and by understanding how these elements work together, you can create habits that stick. Cue. The cue triggers your brain to initiate a behavior. It's the spark that starts the habit loop. Make the cue obvious to ensure your desired habit is consistently triggered. Craving. Cravings provide the motivation to act. They are not about the habit itself, but the change in state you seek. To build a strong habit, make the craving attractive. Response. The response is the habit you perform. Clear suggests making the response easy to ensure you can consistently carry out the habit without friction. Reward. The reward is the end goal of the habit loop. It satisfies the craving and reinforces the habit loop. Making the reward satisfying helps to embed the habit in your routine. Conclusion. By understanding and applying these 4 steps, cue, craving, response, and reward, you can design habits that are easy to start, maintain, and sustain, leading to lasting change. Action items. Identify cues that trigger your habits and make them more noticeable. Simplify your responses to make habits easier to perform. Ensure the reward is satisfying to reinforce positive behavior. Chapter 4. The best way to start a new habit. James Clear introduces 2 practical strategies for starting new habits: implementation intentions and the 2-minute rule. Implementation intentions involve creating a clear plan for when and where you will perform your habit, reducing ambiguity and increasing the likelihood of following through. For example, instead of saying, "I will exercise more," specify, "I will exercise for 30 minutes at 7 a.m. in my living room." The 2-minute rule is about making your new habits as easy as possible to start. Clear suggests breaking down your habits into tasks that take no more than 2 minutes to complete. This removes the barrier to getting started and allows momentum to build, making it easier to continue the habit over time. Habit stacking is another effective strategy mentioned by Clear. It involves linking a new habit to an existing one, creating a routine that flows naturally. For instance, if you already have a habit of making coffee every morning, you can stack a new habit, such as journaling for 5 minutes, immediately after your coffee is ready. Conclusion. Simplify the process of starting new habits by planning them out with implementation intentions, making them easy with the 2-minute rule, and integrating them into your existing routines with habit stacking. Action items. Set specific implementation intentions for your new habits. Break down new habits into actions that take just 2 minutes to complete. Use habit stacking to integrate new behaviors into your routine seamlessly. Chapter 5. Motivation is overrated. Environment often matters more. Clear emphasizes that the environment plays a crucial role in shaping your habits. While motivation can be fleeting, Designing an environment that supports positive behaviors can make a lasting impact. By structuring your surroundings to make good habits easier and bad habits harder, you create an environment that naturally guides you toward the behaviors you want to cultivate. For example, if you want to eat healthier, keep nutritious snacks visible and within easy reach while storing less healthy options out of sight. This simple environmental tweak can significantly increase the likelihood that you'll make healthier choices. Conclusion: shape your environment to make good habits easier and bad habits harder, reducing your reliance on motivation, which can fluctuate. Action items: audit your environment and make necessary adjustments to support your goals. Increase friction for bad habits by creating barriers, such as putting your phone in another room while working to avoid distraction. Chapter 6. The Secret to Self-Control. James Clear argues that self-control is not just about willpower. It's about controlling your environment. By strategically designing your environment to eliminate cues that trigger bad habits and to make good habits easier, you can achieve better self-control without relying solely on your willpower. For example, if you struggle with mindless snacking, remove junk food from your home or place it in a hard-to-reach location. This simple change makes it less likely that you'll engage in the habit, effectively reducing the need for self-control. Conclusion: focus on designing your environment to support good habits and reduce temptation, thereby enhancing self-control naturally. Action items: identify the cues that lead to your bad habits and work to remove or alter them. Restructure your environment to make positive behaviors more effortless and more automatic. Chapter 7. How to make a habit irresistible. James Clear dives into the concept of making habits more appealing by leveraging the brain's natural desire for pleasure and reward. One powerful strategy he introduces is temptation bundling, which involves pairing a habit you need to do with one you enjoy. This technique works by linking a less desirable habit with a more desirable one, making the entire process more attractive. For example, if you need to exercise but love listening to podcasts, you can combine the two activities, only allowing yourself to listen to your favorite podcast while working out. Clear also explores the role of dopamine in habit formation. Dopamine, often referred to as the feel-good neurotransmitter, is not just released when we achieve a reward, but also when we anticipate it. By designing your habits around this anticipation, you can make them more irresistible. For instance, setting up small rewards for completing your habit can create a sense of anticipation that drives you to maintain the habit consistently. Conclusion: make your habits irresistible by linking them to activities you enjoy, and by leveraging the power of anticipation and rewards. Action items: pair a necessary habit with an activity you enjoy to increase its appeal. Create a reward system that reinforces your positive behaviors, ensuring that each habit loop ends on a satisfying note. Chapter 8. The role of family and friends in shaping your habits. The influence of social circles is immense when it comes to forming and maintaining habits. Clear emphasizes that the people around us, family, friends, and peers, play a crucial role in shaping our behaviors, often more than we realize. This is due to the powerful social dynamics of approval and disapproval, which can either reinforce good habits or discourage bad ones. By surrounding yourself with people who exhibit the habits you want to develop, you create an environment where those behaviors are normalized and encouraged. Conversely, if you spend time with people who engage in habits you're trying to avoid, it can be challenging to stick to your goals. Clear also suggests that joining communities or groups that share your goals can provide additional support and motivation. Whether it's a fitness group, a book club, or a professional network, being part of a community with similar aspirations can significantly boost your commitment to your habits. Conclusion: leverage your social circle to support your habit formation. Choose your influences wisely, as the people around you can either propel you forward or hold you back. Action items: audit your social circle and ensure that it aligns with your goals and desired habits. Join a community or group that shares the habits you want to cultivate, creating a network of support and accountability. Chapter 9. How to find and fix the causes of your bad habits. To break free from bad habits, it's essential to identify the triggers that lead to them. James Clear explains that habits are often driven by specific cues in our environment, emotional states, or routines. By understanding these triggers, you can begin to alter your responses to them, ultimately breaking the habit loop. For instance, if you tend to snack when bored, recognizing boredom as the cue allows you to consciously choose a healthier response, such as drinking water or going for a walk. Clear emphasizes the importance of changing your environment to make bad habits harder and good habits easier. This could mean rearranging your kitchen to keep unhealthy snacks out of sight, or setting up your workspace to minimize distractions. By altering the cues and context around you, you can reduce the likelihood of engaging in undesirable behaviors. Another critical aspect is reframing your mindset. Instead of seeing the habit as something you're giving up, Clear suggests viewing it as a choice you're making to improve your life. This positive reframe can help reduce the psychological resistance to change. Conclusion: address the root causes of bad habits by identifying triggers, changing your environment, and reframing your mindset. Small changes can lead to significant improvements. Action items: identify the triggers that lead to your bad habits and work on eliminating or altering them. Reframe your mindset to see breaking a bad habit as a positive, empowering choice. Change your environment to make engaging in bad habits more difficult and good habits easier. Chapter 10. The Law of Least Effort. One of the most powerful principles in habit formation is the law of least effort. This law suggests that people naturally gravitate toward the path of least resistance. Clear explains that by making good habits as easy as possible, you increase the likelihood of sticking with them. Conversely, making bad habits more difficult can help to eliminate them from your routine. For example, if you want to read more, place a book on your bed so it's the first thing you see when you lie down. On the flip side, if you want to reduce your screen time, you might consider putting your phone in another room when you work or go to bed. The easier it is to engage in a good habit and the harder it is to engage in a bad one, the more likely you are to make positive changes. Clear also introduces the 2-minute rule as a practical application of this principle. This rule suggests that when you start a new habit, you should aim to complete it in just 2 minutes. This makes it easy to begin, and once you start, you're more likely to continue beyond the initial 2 minutes. Conclusion: simplify your habits to make them easy to start and maintain. Use the law of least effort to your advantage by reducing friction for good habits and increasing it for bad ones. Action items: simplify your environment to make it easier to engage in positive habits. Apply the 2-minute rule to start new habits with minimal effort. Identify ways to increase the difficulty of engaging in bad habits, such as creating physical or digital barriers. Chapter 11. How to stop procrastinating by using the 2-minute rule. Procrastination is a common barrier to habit formation, but the 2-minute rule offers a simple yet effective solution. This rule, which states that you should start tasks by doing them for just 2 minutes, leverages the idea that getting started is often the hardest part. Once you begin, you're likely to continue overcoming the inertia of procrastination. Clear explains that this approach works because it breaks down the psychological barriers that make tasks seem daunting. By focusing on the smallest version of the task, you lower the resistance to starting it. Over time, these small beginnings can build momentum, leading to consistent habits and significant progress. Conclusion: use the 2-minute rule to overcome procrastination and build momentum. Small actions, when repeated consistently, lead to lasting change. Action items: identify a habit or task you've been procrastinating on and commit to doing it for just 2 minutes. Focus on consistency by starting small and building from there. Use the momentum gained from these small actions to expand and solidify your habits. Chapter 12. How to make good habits inevitable and bad habits impossible. James Clear emphasizes the importance of designing your environment and using commitment devices to make good habits inevitable and bad habits nearly impossible. Commitment devices are pre-decisions you make to lock in your future behaviors. For instance, if you want to save money, setting up an automatic transfer to your savings account each payday ensures that you're saving without having to think about it. Clear also discusses the importance of environment design in habit formation. By organizing your surroundings to make good habits easier and bad habits harder, you naturally guide yourself toward better behaviors. For example, if you want to exercise regularly, placing your workout gear in a visible and accessible place can make it more likely that you'll follow through with your exercise plan. Conclusion. Make good habits inevitable and bad habits impossible by designing your environment and using commitment devices. These strategies reduce reliance on willpower and increase the consistency of positive behaviors. Action items. Implement commitment devices to automate good habits and make them more consistent. Redesign your environment to support positive behaviors and make negative ones more difficult. Evaluate your current habits and consider how changes in your environment or pre-commitments can improve them. Chapter 13. The Cardinal Rule of Behavior Change. The cardinal rule of behavior change, as outlined by Clear, is simple. What is rewarded is repeated. What is punished is avoided. This principle emphasizes the importance of immediate rewards in reinforcing positive habits and immediate consequences in discouraging negative ones. The idea is rooted in basic behavioral psychology. Our brains are wired to seek pleasure and avoid pain. Clear suggests using habit contracts and accountability partners as tools to add a layer of social and psychological pressure. A habit contract involves writing down your goals and the consequences of not achieving them, while an accountability partner is someone who helps keep you on track by checking in on your progress. These methods increase the stakes and provide immediate feedback, making it more likely that you'll stick to your habits. Conclusion. Align your habits with rewards and social accountability to make them stick. Immediate feedback is crucial in reinforcing positive behaviors and discouraging negative ones. Action items. Identify immediate rewards for your positive habits and use them to reinforce the behavior. Set up habit contracts with accountability partners to add social pressure and increase commitment. Use both rewards and consequences to guide your behavior toward your desired habits. Chapter 14. The Goldilocks Rule. How to stay motivated in life and work. Motivation is at its peak when we're working on tasks that are just beyond our current abilities, challenging but still achievable. This idea is captured in the Goldilocks Rule, which suggests that finding this optimal level of difficulty keeps us engaged and motivated. When a task is too easy, we get bored. When it's too hard, we get discouraged. The key is to find the just right challenge. The author ties this concept to the idea of flow, a state of deep focus and immersion in a task. When we're in flow, we're not only more productive, but also more satisfied with our work. By regularly setting stretch goals that push you just beyond your comfort zone, you can maintain this state of engagement and continue to grow and improve. Conclusion. Find the optimal challenge level to stay motivated and continue improving. The Goldilocks zone keeps tasks engaging and helps you maintain progress without burning out. Action items. Identify your Goldilocks zone by finding tasks that challenge you without overwhelming you. Set stretch goals that push you slightly beyond your current abilities to maintain motivation. Regularly seek feedback to adjust the difficulty of tasks and keep them within your optimal challenge zone. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, subscribe, and share it with others who might benefit from these insights. Your support helps us continue to bring you content that inspires and empowers. We look forward to having you with us in our next episode. Keep building those atomic habits.